Big Social Security news is coming in December 2025. Payments, increases, new SSA letters. A lot is happening, and many people don't know what it means for them. In this video, I'll explain everything step by step in simple English so you know exactly what to expect. If you want more easy updates like this every week, make sure to subscribe and stay with me. Let me tell you about what's happening with Social Security payments this December 2025. And I promise to walk you through everything in a way that makes complete sense, even if you've never really understood how all this works before. Think of this as sitting down with a friend who's going to explain the whole system to you over coffee, breaking down each piece so you can really grasp what's happening with your money or the money of someone you care about. So, first things first, let's talk about what Social Security actually is, because understanding the foundation helps everything else click into place. Imagine Social Security as a big safety net that the government set up decades ago to catch people when they retire, when they become disabled, or when a family loses someone who was bringing in income. You pay into this system throughout your working life, through those FICA taxes that come out of your paycheck, and then when you need it, the system is there to pay you back. It's like a national insurance program that we all chip into, so we can all benefit when the time comes. Now, December 2025 is turning out to be a particularly interesting month for Social Security, and there are several important things happening that you need to know about. The Social Security Administration, which everyone calls the SSA, has been making some significant changes and sending out new information that could affect millions of Americans. Let's start with the most exciting news that has people talking, which is the payment increase that's coming. Every year, Social Security payments get adjusted based on something called the Cost of Living Adjustment, or COA for short. Think of COA as the government's way of saying, hey, we know things are getting more expensive, so we're going to bump up your payments to help you keep up. They calculate this by looking at how much prices have gone up for everyday things like groceries, gas, housing, and health care. For 2025, the COLA increase is 2.5%, which might not sound like a huge number at first, but let me put this into perspective for you. If you're getting the average retirement benefit of around $1,800 per month, this increase means you're looking at an extra $45 every single month. That adds up to $540 more per year, which could cover a lot of utility bills, groceries, or prescriptions that you need. The way these payments roll out in December follows a very specific schedule that the SSA has been using for years, and once you understand the pattern, you'll know exactly when to expect your money. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, or if you're getting both Social Security and SSI together, you get paid on the third day of every month. For December, that means your payment should arrive on December 3rd. But for everyone else, the payment date depends on your birthday, which is actually a pretty clever system when you think about it. It spreads out the payments throughout the month, so the system doesn't get overwhelmed trying to send out millions of payments all at once. Here's how the birthday system works, and I want you to pay close attention because this determines your specific payment date. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the second Wednesday of the month. For December 2025, that's December 10th. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, you get paid on the 3rd Wednesday, which is December 17th this year. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the 4th Wednesday of the month, which lands on December 24th. Yes, that's Christmas Eve, which means some people will be getting a nice little present from the SSA right before the holiday. Now, let's talk about SSI, which stands for Supplemental Security Income, because this program works a bit differently, and there's some confusion about when these payments arrive in December. SSI is designed to help people who have very limited income and resources, including elderly folks, blind individuals, and people with disabilities. Unlike regular Social Security, which is based on your work history, SSI is based on financial need. Normally, SSI payments go out on the 1st of each month. But here's where it gets interesting. When the 1st of the month falls on a weekend or holiday, the SSA sends the payment early. Since January 1st, 2026 is a holiday, New Year's Day, SSI recipients actually get their January payment early on December 31st, 2025. So if you're on SSI, you might notice you're getting two payments in December: your regular December payment at the beginning of the month and your January payment at the very end. Don't panic and think it's a mistake, because it's all part of the normal schedule. SSDI, which stands for Social Security Disability Insurance, is another crucial program we need to discuss. This program helps people who've worked and paid into Social Security, but can no longer work because of a disability. The key difference between SSDI and SSI is that SSDI is based on your work credits, while SSI is based on financial need. You can think of SSDI as something you've earned through your years of working, while SSI is more of a safety net for those who haven't been able to work much or at all. Social Security disability insurance payments follow the same schedule as regular Social Security retirement benefits using that birthday system I explained earlier. So, if you're on SSDI, check your birthday and you'll know exactly when your December payment is coming. Now let me address something that gets a lot of people excited and sometimes disappointed, which is the topic of stimulus payments. I want to be completely straight with you here because there's a lot of misinformation floating around on social media and various websites. As of right now, in December 2025, there is no new federal stimulus payment. That's been approved and is being sent out to Social Security recipients. During the pandemic, we saw several rounds of stimulus checks going out to Americans, including Social Security beneficiaries, and those were incredibly helpful for millions of families. However, those were emergency measures passed by Congress in response to a specific crisis. For a new stimulus payment to happen, Congress would need to pass new legislation, and the president would need to sign it into law. That hasn't happened for any December 2025 payment. What I want you to understand is that while we're not seeing a traditional stimulus check, the COA increase I mentioned earlier is actually serving a similar purpose. It's putting more money in your pocket every month to help you deal with rising costs. Some people refer to this as a form of ongoing stimulus because it's extra money that helps stimulate the economy while supporting beneficiaries, but technically speaking, it's not the same as those one-time stimulus checks we saw during the pandemic years. Let's dive into these new SSA letters that are making news this December, because understanding what's in your mailbox is really important. The Social Security Administration has been sending out official notices to beneficiaries explaining the 2025 COA increase and what it means for individual payments. These letters are extremely important documents that you should keep in a safe place. They tell you exactly how much your new monthly benefit will be starting in January 2025, breaking down the numbers so you can see the increase clearly. The letter also explains how this affects your Medicare Part B premium if you have that deducted from your Social Security check, because those premiums can change from year to year too. Speaking of Medicare, there is an important connection here that affects many Social Security recipients. Most people who get Social Security also have Medicare, and the Medicare Part B premium gets automatically deducted from their Social Security payment. For 2025, there are changes to these premiums that you need to factor into your planning. Even though your Social Security payment is going up by 2.5%, if your Medicare premium also increases, the actual amount you see deposited in your bank account might go up by less than you expected. This isn't the SSA taking more money from you unfairly, it's just how the system works. When healthcare costs rise, the SSA letters explain all of this math clearly, showing you the gross amount of your benefit, and then what gets deducted for Medicare. Let me take a moment to explain why accurate information matters so much when it comes to Social Security. You might see videos or articles online claiming there are secret payments, special checks for seniors, or emergency stimulus funds that the government isn't telling you about. I need to be honest with you, most of these claims are either completely false or extremely misleading. They're often designed to get clicks, views, or to collect your personal information. The absolute best source for Social Security information is the official SSA website at ssa.gov or calling the SSA directly at their toll-free number. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and you should verify it through official channels before getting your hopes up, or worse yet, giving out personal information to scammers. Now let's talk about what you should do if you haven't received your payment on the expected date, because this is a common concern that causes a lot of stress. The SSA actually recommends waiting 3 business days after your scheduled payment date before contacting them. Why 3 days? Because sometimes there are delays in the banking system, especially around holidays, and the money might just be taking a bit longer to show up in your account, even though the SSA sent it on time. If 3 business days pass and you still don't have your payment, that's when you should reach out to the SSA to investigate what's going on. For people who are thinking about applying for Social Security benefits, whether that's retirement, disability, or SSI, December can actually be a strategic time to start the process. The application system can take several months to work through, especially for disability claims. So, starting now means you might have everything in place for early next year. The SSA has made it easier than ever to apply online for many types of benefits, and you can create a My Social Security account on their website to manage your benefits, check your earnings history, and get estimates of your future payments. This online portal is incredibly useful, and I'd encourage everyone to set one up, even if you're not ready to apply for benefits yet, just so you can see what you've earned and what you might be eligible for down the road. I also want to address some special situations that come up during December because of the holidays and the end of the year. If you're receiving Social Security and you also work part-time, you need to be aware of earnings limits if you haven't yet reached full retirement age. The SSA has specific rules about how much you can earn before they start reducing your benefits temporarily. These limits change every year, and December is a good time to review where you stand for the year and plan for the coming year. If you're over full retirement age, which is between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born, then you can earn as much as you want without any reduction to your Social Security benefits. For families caring for elderly parents or relatives who receive Social Security, December is an excellent time to review their financial situation and make sure everything is set up correctly for the new year. Check that direct deposit information is current, make sure they're receiving all the benefits they're entitled to, and verify that they understand the new payment amounts coming in January. Many seniors get confused by the paperwork and the changes, so having a family member or trusted friend help them understand what's happening can prevent a lot of worry and confusion. Looking at the bigger picture, these December changes and the COLA increase reflect the ongoing challenge of keeping Social Security sustainable while ensuring it provides meaningful support to beneficiaries. The program supports over 67 million Americans, and every adjustment affects real people trying to pay rent, buy groceries, afford medications, and maintain their dignity in retirement or during disability. The 2.5% increase for 2025 represents the government's effort to balance these needs. Though many advocates argue that the COA calculation doesn't fully capture the real expenses that seniors and disabled individuals face, particularly healthcare costs, which often rise faster than general inflation. As we close out 2025 and move into the new year, the key takeaway is that Social Security remains a vital program that continues to evolve. Whether you're currently receiving benefits or planning for the future, staying informed through official sources, understanding your payment schedule, and keeping your information up to date with the SSA are the best ways to ensure you get every dollar you're entitled to without interruption. The December payments, the COLA increase, and the new SSA letters are all part of the regular rhythm of this essential program that millions of Americans count on every single day. Okay,